Yes, ma'am, you're audible, ma'am.
Okay. So I request all of you to participate during the session. Let me start with showing a very small video. Palak, is it visible and audible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible and audible.
Alam, 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 amenu, amen. Ya Hussein, al-Madbat Qudisah. Alam, 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 amenu, amen. Rihamar Yasin, al-Madbat Qudisah. Angene dhanusa Namet Khurana Alam, 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 amenu, amen. Rihamar Yasin, Namet Khurana Angene dhanusa Namet Khurana Alam, 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 amenu, amen. Alam, 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 amenu, amen. Rihamar Yasin, al-Madbat Qudisah. Alam, 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 amenu, amen. Rihamar Yasin,
Yes. Have you seen something? Anybody would like to comment on this video? Anyone who would like to comment?
Ma'am,
Anything.
this video is yes, ma'am. Ma'am, this video is all about that nothing is impossible and you should not focus what others speaks about you. You should just explore your potential, how much potential you have, because you only you know that what you can do. No one else know what you can do, and these people are so much excelled in their field because they didn't believe on the social stigmas. They believed in themselves that they have to do it and they can do it. So they now called as Saurav Ganguly and many more examples that are seen in the video.
What was so different about the various people who were mentioned in the video? Anyone? You put it very
Ma'am,
right, Palak.
difference is that they have
Yeah, go ahead.
yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Ma'am, the difference is that they didn't believe in others. They believe that they can do that thing. They have that vision. They have that that they can do it, and they don't have to focus on what societies tell them. They have to focus what they wanted to do. That's why they break all the notions of the society, and they did what that is against all odds. They have done that things in that time when that was not existing even, like Sanjeev Kapoor
Right.
example, that men cannot cook and he has started long way back cooking by a man started. So it's a like breaking the chain.
Absolutely correct. So, I mean, there are a lot of myths about doing entrepreneurship. There are a lot of myths about doing business. If you look at all these people who were there in the video, right from a person like Charlie Chaplin to talking about Dhirubhai Ambani or Sanjeev Kapoor, today all of them are big name. But if we go into their background, they had a very different life. They had a very tough time in their own personal journeys. They didn't had any background to offer to them where they could start their own journey, right? If we look at Shah Rukh Khan, all of us know how he struggled into Bollywood, and today we all know him as King Khan. But his journey to Bollywood was not that easy. He struggled literally to get even an entry into a TV serial. He didn't had any backup in the background. So today we know as King Khan, but what King Khan has gone through, a lot of people are not even aware about it. We know Dhirubhai Ambani and Reliance Industry today, but what has gone into the background of Reliance Industry and Dhirubhai Ambani, where Dhirubhai Ambani was a person who just filled petrol at petrol pumps. So they had a very different and struggling life. What you said is very right. Cooking has always been considered as women's forte. Sanjeev Kapoor broke that myth. Amitabh Bachchan, and KBC today is known to everyone. We have seen Amitabh Bachchan seeing through the tough times. At the age of 60, this man became bankrupt. And at the age of 60, he restarted his career. And today he is probably charging 7 crores rupees for an hour. So the thing that I want to say is, we do not discover ourselves. We think that anything and everything is impossible. I understand all these are big names that we are talking about today, but believe me, they started their journey very humbly, very small, and they've reached to a destination. So the word impossible itself says, I am possible. All that is we need to try. We need not give it up. We give up it so easily that, it will not happen. Another important thing is we need to do a goal setting. For example, you want to go from, let's say, Delhi to Mumbai by, let's say, Rajdhani Express. You have to buy a ticket to reach to Mumbai, going by Rajdhani Express, right? If you buy a ticket till Kota, I'm sure you cannot reach Mumbai. To reach to Mumbai, you need to have a goal to reach to Mumbai. You may drop down yourself at Kota, but you have to aim for reaching to that destination. So that's what an entrepreneur is all about. He need to discover, he need to think, he need to plan for the futuristic things. I don't even say that all of you become an entrepreneur tomorrow, but you should live life like an entrepreneur, day in and day out. inherent trait should be like an entrepreneur, which is very, very important. Let me start with a small quiz, and I would like all of you to participate. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Okay. Guess when were these people were active? I'm showing a couple of photographs on the screen. I don't know even if any one of you know them. Could you recall from your old school days?
Ma'am,
The pretty
Abraham.
old man. Abraham Lincoln, yes.
Ma'am, is that Rosa Parks or
Try.
ma'am, is
That's
she
okay.
Rosa?
Give it a try.
Is Rosa Parks?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I just picked some random photographs and put it. Difficult to remember, right? Difficult to figure out. Okay. Let me change the slide and then come back to this again. Or okay, this is like, let me tell you, Wall Street, Charles Darwin, you know, the man given the principles of Darwin, Karl Marx, the social revolution, Florence Nightingale, right? The lady who has given everything for the society, Henry Bessemer, and Abraham Lincoln. Difficult to remember these guys. They are like old times historians. But if I ask about this, can you all remember this? Can you all remember this?
Bhagat Singh.
No.
Ma'am, Shivaji Rao.
Mangal Pandey.
Who said Mangal Pandey? Just a second. I need to know the person who said Mangal Pandey. Vanali, you said that?
No.
Who said Mangal Pandey?
I'm not
Someone
sure.
mentioned Mangal Pandey. Please, this is right answer. I just want to know who's that.
Hello, ma'am. This is Pallavi Joshi. I said that.
Yes, Pallavi. Yeah, Pallavi.
I don't
That's
know whether it's
absolutely
right or wrong. It was just
No,
a
this is
wild guess.
absolutely right.
It was a
It's
wild guess.
absolutely right. That's okay.
Okay.
So, this is the. I mean, the man Mangal Pandey. Now, can you guys connect to Mangal Pandey? Anyone?
Ma'am, I have watched the movie, so I guess I think somewhere in a movie poster or at the end they showed the picture. So it was. I just recalled it from there. I think so that I have watched this
Absolutely.
somewhere. I've seen this pic somewhere.
That's okay. So, basically, what I'm trying to. Pardon?
Ma'am, Mangal Pandey was basically that you mentioned Sepoy Mutiny. Ma'am, it was a
Yes.
revolution started when the gunpowder was, they came to know, soldiers back then, Indian soldiers back then came to know in that gunpowder, it is beast material. So they just revolted against the Britishers, and that is called the Sepoy Mutiny. They have said that we will not follow, we will not use these guns.
Yes.
So Mangal
Basically,
Pandey
what
was
I'm trying.
executed, and it is the first revolution against any
Absolutely.
British.
Absolutely. It was, in fact, if you ask probably some of you who had more interest in history may even remember that it was 1851, a long
Ma'am, in this
150 years
period
ago.
only it is started with the sati thing also during this.
Yes. So what I'm trying to tell is all these people who were doing good things, a lot of people do not remember them because it happened long back. But this was a period of destruction, a change, and a lot of people remembered that change. All of them were between 1810 to 1860, almost like, 215 years ago, 165 years ago, I'm talking about. How's current day today existence different from 1860? Do you think there's some change that has happened in the country? Our living, our lifestyle, a lot of changes happened, right? What sort of change you feel that you see today? In 150 years, I'm sure a lot of changes happened, right? We have moved from a very different generation to today's modern techno-savvy generation. So there's a lot which has evolved over a period of time in the last 150 years, right? At that point of time, none of these things existed, like cars, aeroplanes, robots, laptops, iPads, iPods, electricity for that matter. A lot of things do not even existed. How all this happened? What brought all of these things?
Ma'am, need.
Need.
Ma'am, the
Yes.
need.
Absolutely. Need is very important. I'm showing you a couple of photographs here again. There are few things about all these individuals. Do you know these guys, anyone? Edison? Anyone knows the story of Edison?
Thomas Edison. Yes.
Bulb.
First
Bulb.
bulb. Bulb.
Yes.
Ma'am, he failed a
Yes.
lot of times, but he did not give up.
Absolutely. He knows 1,000 ways of not to make a bulb. Just imagine a guy failed almost 1,000 times. And he knew that he put it the other way, 1,000 ways of not to make a bulb. He was a school dropout, had a very, very tough life, but he was passionate about inventing something different. He was so keen about doing something, and he did it. Jamshedji Tata?
Yes. Tata Industry.
Tata Industries, right? The man doesn't need any introduction. The man behind creating an umbrella of empire and entering into a varied domains. All that he wanted to create a very Indian brand, a brand which caters to the need of variety of products of India. Had again very tough life, started everything from scratch and created a difference. I don't know how many of you know this lady, Estee Lauder?
Ma'am, a makeup brand.
Yes.
Luxury makeup brand.
Luxury makeup brand. Very interesting story. This lady, when she was trying to create her own brands of perfume, she first invented perfume. And when she wanted to create this, she didn't had any support. She didn't even know how to make perfume, and she got separated from her husband. So she wanted to start this business, and she learned this from her uncle. How to make perfume, and somehow she created one of the very interesting bottles of perfume and very nice fragrance. But since it was not a brand, when she reached out in US to various people into the market, nobody gave her attention. She went to the retailers, nobody bought her products, nobody was interested even in keeping the bottles. She tried a lot, but she was very sure that she created a best product, and she was sure that she will reach out to the customers. You won't believe what she did. She sat outside the retail stores and broke the bottle of perfumes. When she broke those bottles of perfume, people who were entering inside the stores went inside and asked for the same fragrance. And that's how she got entry into her store. She wanted more support. She broken the relationships, but then she completely focused on her venture. And that's how Estee Lauder become a big name today. Henry Ford, the man
Ma'am, the Ford
behind
Motors.
Ford.
Ford Motors, right? Ford Motors was an innovative car which has come up. Ford's car were known to be a very interesting product in the sense they were so product oriented company that they used to focus completely on the product, technology, its features. And this man was so passionate about it that he wanted to develop a different car, and he did it instead of all the odds that he faced in life. Many times he created prototypes and cars which would not succeed. Walt Disney.
The Disneyland and Disney Productions.
Disney Productions. I don't know how many of you know that, but the story of Disney, this guy started his journey by painting the railway tracks. While he was painting, as a kid, while he was painting the railway tracks, he used to design various cartoons and characters. And he always dreamed of these Disney characters that we all buy today. And look at it. Slowly, slowly, he got his space. Had a very, very tough life, can't imagine. And today, Disney World is even beyond the reach of a lot of people that we all know. Walt Disney has become one phenomenal name into this field. Well, how did this happen to all of them? All of them wanted a better quality of life. All of them had a vision of the future. They experimented and constantly improved their offer. Improved to the extent 10,000 ways of not to make a bulb. Experimented again and again. They did not give up at any point of time. It doesn't happen that, in the first place, you get everything. Very recently, I was consulting, if you know this brand called Jugnu, who has this Jugnu Auto Services and Fatafat. They were going for the VC funding. At least 98 times they got rejected by the venture capitalists for getting the fund for Jugnu. 99 VC heard them and gave them funding. So, I mean, it's okay. No, we should not get dejected by getting rejections, because sometimes you're getting rejected because of a lot of other reasons. People may not understand why you're getting rejected. You know your product pretty well. These guys at Tapri at Jaipur, if some of you know who are from Jaipur, we have this Tapri, which is a tea chain. These two guys were studying in Pune. No, I think, yeah, it was Pune or Mumbai. They were studying. They made this tea cafe business plan into the college, and the professor completely rejected it, saying that it will not work. And these guys gone against the wishes of the market and the college, and they did thorough market study. They at least went to, I don't know how many places to understand the varieties of teas. They tried their hands on everything, and today you all know, people who are from Jaipur definitely know that how Tapri has become success. They have multiple outlets now into varied categories. So many times things are different. In fact, look at the story of Sony Walkman. When Sony came up with Walkman, it was an interesting product, and Sony had a very open door policy where they always allowed their employees to come back and give feedback. That was a time there was not really much internet and facilities available. So employees, especially the marketing people, जो के लिए जाते थे, क्या होता था, 2-2 घंटे अपॉइंटमेंट के बाद भी वेट करना पड़ता था. These guys used to get bored. They thought, can we have something where we can have music? So music can always give you, due space, and आप enjoy कर सकते हो. They identified the problem. So they thought, can we have music on the go? And they came up with the concept, और MD को idea बताया, product team से बात करी, सब किया. But company said, no, we can't do it like that. Let's do a market research. They did the market research, reach out to the people and talk to them about it. Do you know what could have happened? Any guesses? Market research का result क्या रहा होगा?
Oh, that nobody was interested, maybe.
Exactly. People could not understand what is they talking about, music on the go. People actually rejected the idea. Then company again brainstormed and thought about it. They said people are foolish. They don't know what we are talking about. Right? They gone against the wishes of the market and actually launched the product. And it was a super hit product. Sony Walkman dominated the market for long period of time until the Apple iTunes came into the picture. So many times as an entrepreneur, we also have to create the need for the product. We need to change the behavior of our customers. we need to know, we know what is the product is all about, and we need to tell people about it. I mean, just imagine mobile phone. Few years back, did you ever thought about that you can't live without this mobile phone? Now you eat it, sleep it, drink it, everything happens with your mobile phone. But kuch saal pehle, we were very happy and comfortable. We didn't know that we need so much to do in a phone. And today I just can't imagine my life without phone for a minute. So of course, somebody came up with a product and tried to make me convinced that, you know, you can use it this way, you can do it that way. So there could be a variety of things. But before that, you need to be very clear and sure about what's your product, what you're going to offer, what's your passion, why you want to do it. You need, you have to ignore all sort of negative views coming your way, and don't get dejected by setbacks. That will always happen. You know, all sort of those problems will always happen. You should not bother about them. Okay, there are a couple of more photographs. Do you know these guys? I took some oldies.
Ma'am, that's
Actually,
Hussain.
Shahnaz Hussain, right?
Shabir Bhatia.
Sabir Bhatia, absolutely. The guy behind Hotmail, the first email service started in India by Sabir Bhatia.
Yeah, Kiran Shaw Majumdar.
Kiran Majumdar Shaw.
R.K. Tammani of Futures Group.
Kishore Bayani, yes.
Of Futures Group.
Yes. And Mr. Tulsi Tanti from Suzlon Energy. People from different sectors. But all of them have done things differently in their own fields. Did differently? Well, there were two things. What is common among these people, background or approach? What's common among these people? Is it the background
Must
or
be
approach?
Approach.
Right? The background, many of them have a different background. Some of them are from affluent families. Some of them didn't had anything to start with. Some of them are well educated, different sorts of things. But one thing was very common, that they had a common approach. Let's try and look at this way. In terms of background, let's look at money. Lakshmi Mittal, the guy, Steel King, he originally hails from a small village in Sikar district in Rajasthan. He had 21 members in his family, and there was only one earning member in the family. That was his background when he started his journey. There were times that the family didn't had even food to eat, and today he's known as Steel King in the world. On the other side, we have a person like Vijay Mallya, who was born rich. Age. Do you know these two guys? Anyone?
Gopinath. SpiceJet.
No. This is a guy who started his business at the age of 13. In India, a minor cannot register his company, right? So he got his company registered at US at the age of 13. While on the other side, there's a guy like Ray Kroc, the man behind McDonald's. Started his business at the age of 60. So what matters? Money, age? Let's look at education. So you have Mr. Ambani and you have Mr. Narayan Murthy. Of course, two successful people. One was uneducated or a 5th class pass, while Mr. Narayan Murthy, all of us know. Work experience. Bill Gates, no experience. While Mr. Bagchi worked for 40 years before he started his company. So guys, what I'm trying to say is education, work experience, your money, your age, all these are issues that we talk about, that this is a problem with us. I don't have money. Age is a problem. Education is a problem. I don't have any experience. All such sort of things always comes your way when you are working on your venture. You know, there are 10 negative thoughts and rarely there is a positive thought around you. But how have they built such great business empires? Is there a method in their madness? I would say yes. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
They were mad about achieving what they wanted to achieve, you know? I mean, they had so much passion in whatever they were doing. It is like, when you're playing a game on mobile phone, you're so engrossed into it that even if your mom is calling you for a food or somebody is ringing a bell near you, you don't listen to it. That was the kind of thing which was happening to them. They were so much involved into their business, into their idea. They were so passionate about it that it automatically became a methodical process. So when we talk about a process, it's all about spotting an opportunity, identifying the resources, acquiring those resources, and managing ventures. It's not that simple. We'll go through the journey, but all that I'm trying to say is seizing the right moment, spotting the right opportunity at right point of time is very important. Just do not wait for things to happen. An entrepreneur is a person who works with his own limited means. He optimally utilize the limited resources that they have in mind. Problems are always there. That's what you're doing business about, that you're solving those problems. You are giving solution to those problems which is coming people's way. So entrepreneurship is more than a mere creation of a venture. It's all about mindset. Seeking opportunities, taking risk beyond security, and having the tenacity to push an idea through reality are a typical characteristics of entrepreneurs. You have to have belief in yourself. You need to have a tenacity to look at things. You need to have self-confidence. You need to see things beyond what people see. You should be able to see the iceberg. That's why you are an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are the one, they just do not see the tip. They see the complete iceberg and they work on those opportunities. I mean, just look at it. During the COVID time, when we saw that there is a high demand for masks and amazing varieties of masks that's there in the market. These people actually took a risk. There's somebody in the Kerala started a store of masks where there is only mask in the store. I was just wondering, this guy was fool that, how long people are going to buy it. But just imagine, it's almost a year that we are buying it. And today there are so many varieties and so many extension of the mask are available. And it has become so much part of our life that each one of us are looking for it. Look at the brands of sanitizers across you, or say, for example, even these devices like oximeter. I mean, all Fitbits, all these fitness tools now have SpO2 into it. So an entrepreneur is somebody who includes and adapts what's going on. Keeps an eyes open, observe what's happening around, and cash on it. Convert that into a business opportunity. So it is all about having an innovation which get commercialized. We are not into charity. We are here to do business. When we are doing business, of course, we are doing an innovation, but we are commercializing that innovation. That's very, very important. These are like some of the traits, as I talked about: tenacity, passion. They tolerate ambiguity. When I'll ask you to make a business plan, आप बोलोगे 3 साल बाद क्या होगा, कैसे बताएं, अभी खर्चे कैसे डालें, हमें क्या पता है, we don't know. All these ambiguities will always be there. Just imagine एक गोलगप्पे वाले ने स्टॉल शुरू करता है, डे 1 पे उसको क्या पता कि आज कितने लोग गोलगप्पे खाएंगे, कितने गोलगप्पे बनाने हैं, कितना पानी बनाना है, कितना आलू बॉईल करना है, कितना मसाला बनाना है. You apply your rationale, you apply your judgment, you observe from what's happening in the market, and from there you take a call. You may do mistakes for the first week. Next week, improvement will come into the process. If you want to avoid mistake on the first day, be calculative. Look around, go around, see how people behave. Look at your competitor, look at your external environment, do some observation, do some exercises. And that's why probably many of you are here to do this course, only just to understand what are the frameworks that you can apply so that your risk get minimized, right? But otherwise, entrepreneurship is not something which can be taught. It's all about doing. It's all about feeling and experimenting with it. So as I said, self-belief, flexible, such kind of people. Okay, look at this. Look at some of the interesting brands. Uber, the world's largest taxi company, owns no vehicle. Facebook, the world's most popular media owner, creates no content. Alibaba, the most valuable retailer, has no inventory. That's quite amazing. Such a big retailer in the world carries no inventory. Airbnb is a classic model. World's largest accommodation provider owns no real estate. So this is how people are working. All Skype. Skype started with zero investment. And Skype became a game changer into the video conferencing model for a long period of time, even till last few years, rather, I would say. So, I mean, there's so much happening around you. All that you need to think differently. See, how can you bring change in somebody's life? How much you are willing to solve my problem? Just a snapshot before we begin the entire journey of course and move through the each stages. I thought let's talk about how to start a startup. Well, live in the future, ahead of your time. So let's say if somebody is talking about, somebody would have talked about artificial intelligence and virtual reality 5 years back and started it. They are doing pretty good. Somebody who can plan what's going to happen after 3 years, 5 years today and come up with this wonderful idea that's going to click. You need to think about differently. You don't need to offer something which is already there are 100 players offering in the market. How can you create that different being the 101st player in the market? That's what you have to think today, but visualizing the future. What is missing in the world? Figure out. Write it down and bounce your ideas around. Talk about your ideas to a lot of people. You never know who will build it up, who will give you more guidance. I'm sure you all know about Redbus. Redbus revolutionized in terms of creating a network of bus operators and connecting those small towns of the buses across the country. This model was tried before Redbus by ClearTrip, Make My Trip, I think not GoIB, but there was Yatra. All these brands tried this model, but they failed. And Redbus was a new player who came up with an idea. They did well and sold their business back in 600 crore. So just imagine, some 4-bits Pilani guys started that journey, understood it well, and created history. We all know WhatsApp. I mean, WhatsApp was an 18% company. There was nothing fundamentally great happening, but they didn't even realize that how much millions of money they could create because they were solving an actual problem. And WhatsApp came at the time when the BlackBerry was dying. BlackBerry Messenger was dying. So, you take advantage of a situation from the market and come up with a new product. If you look at brand like, I don't know how many of you know about it, Ambassador and Ford were the only 2 cars prevalent in India for a long period of time, almost like 50 years. Ambassador was a government car and Fiat was a private car. That was a scenario. Ambassador as a car model had like hundreds of problems, right? From even they know that the problem, like say for example, a windscreen wiper, it has to move from left to right or right to left. It was opposite direction. There were so many such small mistakes in the product, but company become so complex and they said, forget it. Kya farak padta hai? Koi nahi hai aur market mein. We are the only players. So they just kept on ignoring things. Maruti came one fine day and took entire market share from these brands and they become the 51% market shareholder. So it's not that any new player will never ever get an entry into the market. Especially हमारे को यही लगता है कि there are already established players in the market. नए player को entry कहाँ से मिलेगी? Look at MI, what Xiaomi has done into India. All Chinese, it was a Chinese brand, but how they adopted to the Indian context and Indian situation, and they are doing pretty good. While a lot of other brands came and went back. Nokia, we all have done Nokia to them. So I mean, it's very important that you work on it. So write down these things, make a prototype out of it, show the prototype to at least 100 plus people. Iterations, work on those prototypes. Find a co-founder for yourself, register your company with equity, look for funding opportunities, launch and let the world know about you. Have your social media presence, follow up with your users. You need to also identify your first 1,000 customers, and then you have to grow steadily 5% a year. Keep growing and achieve the success. And we're going to pass through all these stages during the 6-week program. Okay, I just thought it's interesting. We being girls, all of us are very fond of Instagram. And so I just liked it. So I thought, let me share with you how these two guys made an app in 8 weeks of time. Learned to code at night after the work, built an HTML called platform, gave it to friends to use, met investors at a party and showed them, the platform that they created, took the jump and quit the job. Got a funding, then they found a co-founder, looked at what they had in app, they did everything from check-ins to photographs, decided to focus on one thing, photos. Another interesting thing, I was talking to someone today as well. When we are starting our journey and when we want to launch a product, we think that we can do this also, we can do this also, we can do everything. I would recommend when we are starting small, we should start slow. We should concentrate and focus on one particular idea rather than thinking and talking about, variety of things. Then create a prototype. That prototype, when they created, it looked awful. Nobody liked it. So they went back to the older design, reworked on it. Creating prototypes, guys, is very important because if you create a final product and then you see the faults, it's very difficult to correct it because you've already invested a lot of money. So it's better create a prototype, work on it, and you have always options of improvement. Create your plan A, B, C, D. That's very important. In fact, some of the startup guys talk about even creating till F, G, H, whatever. Then they made Bob on an iPhone app, but it was, again, they felt it very cluttered. So they threw out everything and only left photographs. Renamed it Instagram and launched on a Monday. That was his rest. Everything was history for them. Today we know how Instagram is successful and how it has been integrated into Facebook. So break the myths about entrepreneurs. Age, wealth, education, work experience are not important factors. There is a question, are they born or made? I would say they can be made. What does it take to become an entrepreneur? We'll talk about it. And understand about the entrepreneurial process. That's very, very important. All right, any questions on this before I move ahead? Anyone, any quick questions? No? All right, so let me quickly show you a very small clip. Any questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, I mean, can you elaborate on how to make a prototype, or you will be discussing it later on?
We'll be doing it during the design thinking, how to make a prototype. We'll be covering it. Okay. Okay, let me quickly talk about the myths that we were sharing to give you more clarity and completely remove it out of your mind. Let me know in case if you're not able to hear it.
You must have heard this a million times. He inherited it from his great-grandfather. It runs in the family. Entrepreneurs are born. It runs in their blood, and so it goes on and on. So, the very first myth is that entrepreneurs are born, not made. It says that some people are born with a special gene called the entrepreneurial gene. Do you believe that? It is because of this gene that entrepreneurs succeed. Let me tell you that this is not true. What you really need are real skills such as finance, sales, marketing, and design thinking. These skills are not found in genes, they are found in books, courses, and colleges. You can learn them.
Right? As I said, entrepreneurs are born. Entrepreneurs are not born, they're made. I mean, they can be born, but they're also made.
Even
Myth
if they
number
are
2.
born, one has to create them.
Pardon? Somebody was saying something?
No, I was just adding to what you were saying. Even if they are born entrepreneur, they will have to work on their skills as well.
Absolutely. Very true.
Do you know that Steve Jobs once said, "Great things in business are never done by one person, they are done by a team of people"? The second myth about entrepreneurship is that individuals start companies. This is actually false. All famous entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs, Narayan Murthy, Bill Gates all had partners or co-founders. Teams start companies. They bring a variety of strengths and skills and work together. In fact, bigger teams have more chances of success.
Do you agree? This is also a typical thing, because if I'll not get the right person, what will I do? I need to get a right partner. It's very difficult finding a partner, and I can do everything. That sort of thing always happens, especially with the small startups. But I mean, in today's context, even if you're looking for funding, people look for the companies where there are team, where there are co-founders, where there's a team with the right kind of skill set and network that you brings on the table. That's the only way you can add value to it. Otherwise, it's been imagined that you'll not be able to add value. It's very, very difficult. In fact, look at a lot of brands where people, of course, the co-founders have left the company. Look at the example of Flipkart. The founders change, or Myntra or Jabong. A lot of companies. Say, for example, the current MI CEO, India CEO, was a co-founder at Jabong. So he left Jabong to create another company. So that does happen. So that's not something you need to worry about. But don't think that as an individual you know everything and you can start a company. It's always a good idea to have people on board, join hands, and work in a collab. That's a culture persisting in today's context, that people are working on a collaborative model. Okay, look at myth number 3.
Are you a great student? Do you always get excellent marks? I'm coming to the third myth, that entrepreneurs are excellent at academics and are the smartest people in the class. Well, are they? Certainly not. Most entrepreneurs were not at the top of their class. Of course, they are smart, but the difference is that they tend to focus and do extremely well only in the subject of their interest. They may not do so well in the rest. They may even fail. What makes them successful entrepreneurs is not their grades, but their focus and dedication in their chosen subject.
In fact, I always felt that the top 3 students in the class are always good for nothing. They come back as a faculty, they don't know how to do things, execute things. They're more they're more into reading experiences, but especially students into the middle category. I mean, no offense meant to anyone. I'm not saying that there are no exceptions, but that's what I've always seen happening. Exceptions are always there, but students at the middle level, they had a very different approach and thinking to look at the things. So entrepreneurs are also those kind of people. They love doing multitasking. They love trying out and experimenting different things. And then they find their own focus during the journey. Okay, let's look at the fourth myth.
Ma'am, it's not visible.
It's not visible.
Ma'am,
Okay, one second.
Just because some This is the fourth myth.
start.
Now,
Yes, ma'am. It's only the screen, not the video.
Just because some famous names have charisma does not mean all entrepreneurs have it or that it is an important trait. This is the fourth myth.
not visible.
Ma'am, it is.
It is
Ma'am, it's
visible?
just showing the myth 6, the folder thing, not the video.
Okay, let me disconnect and show it again. Now, can you see?
Because some famous names have charisma does not mean all entrepreneurs have it. Just because some famous names have charisma does not mean all entrepreneurs have it or that it is an important trait. This is the fourth myth. It says that all entrepreneurs are charismatic and that is why they are successful. You must agree that famous entrepreneurs such as Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, Richard Branson, and Bono all have charisma. But do you know, all these people were also known for their vision, systematic thinking, strong analytic skills, and above all, ambition, a combination of humility and ambition.
So this was basically talking about that this is not only about having a charisma, that the entrepreneurs have some charisma. Behind that charisma, they have their own inbuilt traits. They work on it. It's their ambition, it's their creativity, it's their self-confidence, it's their passion to get into those things, right? So just don't think this guy has that DNA and he can do it. It's not like that. This is very important to know.
Do you like to gamble? Do you like taking risks? Are you careful and smart? The fifth myth about entrepreneurship is that entrepreneurs love risk. The opposite is true. Successful entrepreneurs don't enjoy gambling and risking everything. They are intelligent, so why would they? Why would they be in a place where the chances of success are minimum? So, what they do is take calculated risks, where they are certain the result will be good.
Right? This is very important to understand that they love taking calculated risks, not taking anything that comes their way. So we generally hear that entrepreneurs, are the people who take risks. No, they take risks, but they take calculated risks. And finally, the last one.
disciplined. Your parents and teachers would have told you this a million times, and you never liked it. The sixth myth about entrepreneurs is about discipline. People think that they have no discipline. They do as they please, whenever they please. No way. Not a true statement at all. Successful entrepreneurs are extremely disciplined. They have no choice, seriously, no choice, because they have few resources, no reputation, and very little time to succeed. And they have to compete with established companies to bring about change. You think that is easy? That is why they need to be really disciplined. Disciplined like a soldier, but with the spirit of a pirate.
We often hear, I keep on hearing this debate that, uh, when you are on a job, you have a disciplined life and you have a fixed income coming your way. While when you are in a business, people always feel, yeah, आपको तो कोई problem नहीं है, आप कभी भी जो मर्जी है कर सकते हो. It doesn't happen that way, believe me. Those people who are successful, they do have a disciplined life and they had to have that discipline into their business. Otherwise, they can never succeed. So this was just to give you a background in terms of, why we are doing this course and how we are starting with it. Now we'll get into the mode of self-discovery. All of you have a lot of potential in yourself. You want to do things differently. You want to try out variety of things in your life. You have an aspiration to create a venture for you. So let's discover how good you are. Do you have flow in you? You know what to do and how do you want to go about in your own life. So let me show you that. Look at this carefully, then we're gonna do an activity after this.
Hi there and welcome. We are back with a basic program in entrepreneurship. I'm Rajiv and I will be with you as you learn some new concepts. In this session, we'll continue this journey of self-discovery and complete some concrete tasks that are part of every entrepreneurial journey. So let's get started. I presume you're familiar with Pokemon, a fictional character around which there's a huge video game industry today. The creator of Pokemon is a person of Japanese origin, Satoshi Tajiri. As a child and later as a young adult, Satoshi was always lost in the world of insects, bugs, comic books, and animation. The fictional world was his passion and interest. Later in life, as an adult, he created a fictional bug-like creature, the Pokemon, which turned out to be a huge winning business idea. You may all know that the creator of Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck is Walt Disney. What you may not know is this. As a child, Walt Disney was fascinated with nature and animals. He would often get lost observing nature or become completely immersed in drawing pictures of animals. And this interest and passion is reflected in the business he set up, Walt Disney Productions. What is important to note from these stories is that a childhood passion became the basic idea for a successful business. The experience, the feeling of getting immersed in something you love doing, like Satoshi Tajiri or Walt Disney did as children, is described by psychologists as flow. A person is said to be in the state of flow when they do something they love. Typically, the person will lose track of time, get immersed in what they are doing, and will not need to be pushed by someone to do it. Here is a very important point. Don't confuse flow with leisure activities. Those which you do in order to relax or take a break from serious work. Let me explain with a few examples. When a musician plays music or listens to music, he's learning, growing, improving his or her skill. Music in this case is work for the musician, yet he loves it and he enjoys it. But for an ordinary person, music may be a break. It's not work, it is relaxation from normal work. Therefore, we can say that the ordinary person is not in a state of flow when he listens to music. Similarly, a game for a professional tennis player is serious stuff, but he enjoys it. However, for someone who plays the game during the weekends in order to relax, it is not serious stuff. In case you're wondering what flow has to do with entrepreneurship, let me explain. To become a successful entrepreneur, love and passion for what you do is very important. Passion for something motivates you and helps you to persuade people to invest in you and your idea. So, as the first concrete step towards setting up a venture, let's complete an activity that is designed to help you discover your passion or your flow activity.
Any quick comments on this? Any doubts, any questions on this before I share the activity with you? Anyone?
Flow, exactly, you mean to say your idea, your passion? What do you want to do? It's like that?
We are not even getting into the idea, but yes, we are going into the step where we are trying to find your own flow. What you want to do?
Flow means what you want to do, you have to figure out, means.
You have to figure out, or I mean, just figure out some 4 or 5 activities that you've been doing and you enjoy doing it so much that you get lost into it. You know, you don't even think about it, anything. I mean, these things which really appeals you, which attracts you so much. I'm sharing a handout with all of you in the chat box and also sharing it on the screen. I've just shared a handout in the handbox. Please have a look at it. I'll also share it on the screen one second. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Pick 4 areas that interest you and in that you have frequently been involved. List them. You know, anything that you think, you know, like somebody would say, I'm very good in drawing. Somebody would say, I love cooking. Somebody would say, I love going for parties, you know, which you do very, very frequently, not something which you do rarely, something which is not only your pastime. You do it because you genuinely want to do it. Try and figure out, get deep dive into yourself and try and discover what are those areas where you would like to spend more time. You know, what is your area of interest? At least identify 4 of them. Then fill up these columns like, while let's say if I say cooking, do you lose track of time when you are doing this? Tick. Or you have the requisite talent and skills to do that. You take the initiative. You do not need to be pushed to do this. You grab every opportunity in this area to improve your skill level. Even if the activity is challenging, you enjoy taking up the challenge. Try to write yes, no, not sure for these. And, you know, just try and spend some time for yourself doing this. I'll give you 5 minutes just to figure out this, and then you can do it over the weekend for yourself. But just spend some 5 minutes thinking about it, and then we'll talk again. Are you getting it what you're supposed to do?
No.
Yeah, we have to
No?
figure out 4 areas of interest
Yes.
and then find out how
Where
important
do
they
you?
are for us, and yeah, where do we stand?
Yes. Banali, you're facing some issue?
So we have to write it down.
Yeah, you write it down for yourself. That will help you.
Write it down in my note or where?
Yeah. You can put it down in your notebook. No issues.
Okay. Because I'm not a very tech savvy person, so
Perfect. That's okay. You can just put it down for yourself on a sheet of paper.
okay.
But keep all these things together because during the entire sessions, we'll be connecting all these dots.
Sure.
Ma'am, can you please share that
You want me to
document
share the
again?
screen again? Yeah.
Yeah,
I put it in the chat box also. You can download it from there for yourself. I'll also share it on the screen.
yeah, okay, ma'am.
Let me share on the WhatsApp. Some of you are not able to open it, so I'll share it on WhatsApp also. I hope you all are getting it what you're supposed to do. Can I request you to do it over the weekend and we'll move on to the next stage? If you have any confusion and issues, you can always reach out to me.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Can we move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. But please do, all of you do it yourself so that you'll be able to connect with the next set of activities. Okay. Now let's talk about the second set of things. We call it, after the flow, we talk about something called effectuation. Now let's understand what is effectuation.
Do you think all these entrepreneurs started with brilliant ideas? What made their venture a success? Do you think these entrepreneurs have a similar thought process? If yes, what could be that thought process? Dr. Sara Saraswati is a well-known entrepreneurship expert. She wondered about this very thought process, and to understand this, she met and interviewed many entrepreneurs. She came up with a term to describe the entrepreneurial thought process, effectuation. So what exactly is effectuation? It is a set of common sense principles that entrepreneurs apply to face challenges. It focuses on starting with what is doable as against predetermined goals. It is a framework that helps entrepreneurs think and make decisions. In short, it is the mindset and the practical approach that you need to adopt to become an entrepreneur. To understand effectuation, it is also important to understand what it is not. It is not some sort of a formula that you will apply to start a business. And it does not imply that entrepreneurs don't plan. Let's go a little deeper and learn about the principles of effectuation. Dr. Saras talks about 5 principles. The first principle is bird in hand, or start with your means. The second one is affordable loss, or focus on the downside risk. The third principle is lemonade, or leverage contingencies. The fourth principle is patchwork quilt, or form partnerships. The fifth and last principle is pilot in the plane, or control versus predict.
These are 5 very important principles of effectuations. The first one is called bird in hand. I'm again going to give you one exercise where you have to think about what are the means that you have and you can start with it. You know, many times we keep on wondering, I'll get this, ye sab mil jayega, then I'll start. But that does not happen. You leave that bird which you had in your hand also. So bird in hand is a very important principle which talks about start with your means. Then the next principle of effectuation is affordable loss. We are sure that, you know, in a business, there is a loss and there is an affordable loss. Affordable loss, we can afford to do that because we know that based on that, we'll have a productive time coming in the next coming days. You know, we'll be moving towards a profitable journey. So there we can think about doing that, right? So we look at the downside risk. And we have to identify that happens in every business. Every time everything is not profitable, so we need to find out and figure out what are the affordable losses that we have. Another thing is creating lemonades. When you know you have lemon, what to do with lemon? Making lemonades. So leverage those contingencies that comes your way. Don't get carried away with the contingencies or problem. Whatever you have, try and build around it. Patchwork quilt is all about forming partnerships. Today is a world of competition and collaboration. Lot of people are joining hands together. I mean, we know that, right? What Vodafone had to do. Vodafone and Idea came together. 2 brands came together. There are a lot of mergers happening with different brands joining hands together. Why they are doing it? They are doing it absolutely because they know that there's no other way of doing it out. Hamley came in India and joined hands with Reliance. You know, Walmart came and joined hands with Bharti. There are a lot of brands that do that. They work together. Not just, I'm talking about big brands. A lot of small players join hands together and form a cartel and work together. We've been seeing microfinance in terms of women joining hands together and working. There are a lot of groups who are doing things together. So patchwork quilt is something, you know that this is something which you don't know, but the other person knows it. Join hand. Probably say you have a skill, other guy has a marketing skill. Join hand with them. You know finance, the other guy does not know how to run business. Join hands together. You have an idea, somebody else has something else in hand. Work out together. And pilot in plane means control versus predicting situation. A pilot in the plane knows where the problem lies in, and he know how to leverage on those problems. So, you need to take control of the situation and predict what happens. I'll explain them in detail, but these are all 5 things. I think as a small time startups, all of us need to think about and keep them in the mind. They're very, very important principles.
Let's look at 5 entrepreneur stories to see how they use effectuation principles to create businesses. Let's start with Nerdy Academy. Nerdy Academy is a home tutoring service provider in Raipur in India. The founders wanted to set up an edtech venture, which would provide an online and mobile app platform for tutors and students. Unfortunately, they did not have either funding or access to technology. So, what did they do? They looked at what they had in hand. Since they were in college, they had many friends and other people in the network who wanted to earn more by giving tuition to school students. They also knew the parents of several school-going children who required such a service. All they did was bring these two together. By mapping people from the 2 pools, they were able to offer a one-to-one tutoring service, which was completely offline and focused on their town alone. Today, Nerdy Academy has over 200 tutors and about 1,000 students registered with them. This illustrates the effectuation principle bird in hand. And this is common sense, isn't it? All it means is you start with what you have rather than hunting down for resources, technology, etc. Let's move on to entrepreneur Kevin DeWitt, based out of Oregon, USA. He started a venture called Agilix, which extracts crude oil from discarded plastic waste, thus helping to recycle plastic waste and putting it to good use. Today, it is a multi-million-dollar company. But how did David start his venture? Well, he started based on what he had learned in his 20 years in the chemical industry. He saw an opportunity for making money out of trash by applying his knowledge in science. But he didn't start with a big bang. Rather, he set up a small and basic no-frill recycle unit, which grew over the years. To decide on how much money he could spend and how much more to invest, he asked himself one simple question: what could he afford to lose? This is the second effectuation principle and is known as affordable loss. Expert entrepreneurs can limit risk by understanding what they can afford to lose at each step. They do not look for large all or nothing kind of opportunities. In other words, they do not gamble. Expert entrepreneurs also believe in the saying, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. That's what George Crumb did. At the time, he was a chef in an elegant New York resort and was facing flack over his French fries, which his guests complained were too thick and not crispy enough. So, to play a joke on them, he cut his fries so thin that people wouldn't be able to eat them with a fork, and lo and behold, potato chips were born. This is the third principle of effectuation, the lemonade principle. The mantra is to leverage contingencies and turn unpleasant surprises, in other words, problems, into new opportunities. But leveraging contingencies alone is not enough to make your venture a success. Leveraging your networks and forming strategic partnerships is equally important. Who hasn't heard of PayPal? When PayPal discovered that they were losing out on customers because there were some websites that did not accept PayPal payments directly, they formed a partnership with MasterCard. This led to the development and launch of VeriSign, a PayPal secure card service that allows customers to make payments on websites that do not accept PayPal directly by generating a unique single-use MasterCard number for each checkout. Again, in 2012, PayPal announced its partnership with Discover Card to enter the offline retail market where they could use Discover Card's existing network across 7 million stores. This is the essence of the fourth effectuation principle, the patchwork quilt or crazy quilt. Here, entrepreneurs collaborate with various types of partners who are willing to pre-commit rather than search for potential partners who might not be available or be as motivated. Networking is the mantra here. Accumulate as many stakeholders to create the future and reduce uncertainty. Entrepreneurs are always looking to reduce uncertainties, and to do that, they want to write their own future and be their own bosses. That's what Belgium's Els van Houten, CEO of Roos Productions, did. She started Dress Your Doll, a totally unique concept where children could make clothes for their Barbies themselves. When she found significant growth opportunities for Dress Your Doll in the US market, a market with a dramatically different retail network, she seized that opportunity and then started their own web shop for US customers without second thoughts. She became her own pilot. This is the fifth principle of effectuation, the pilot in the plane, where the entrepreneurs don't feel the need to predict the future as long as they control it and steer their own path. So, are you ready to steer your own aircraft? What are you waiting?
Yes, guys. Are you clear with all the 5 principles? Yes, Anamika. Go ahead, Anamika. Anamika, you wanted to say something? Okay. Yes, ma'am. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, understood all the principles very well.
Yes.
You have explained very nicely the principles, 5 principles of effectuation.
Yeah. I'm going to give you another thing to do to all of you. You have to figure out your own means of doing business. Just a second. You have to figure out this for yourself. Who am I? What are the various attributes and abilities that I have? What do I know in terms of your skills, which is hard skills and soft skills? And whom do I know? Do I know people in this network, which is my interest area? Do I know the people who are connected in this network? You have to figure this out for yourself. So I'll share this again on WhatsApp with you. But meanwhile, have a look at it. And then if you have any questions, you can ask me right now, or you can fill this during the weekend. Just have a look. I'll just share it again on the WhatsApp. From here, we are starting working on our ideas, discovering ourselves, and moving into the journey. So now the next stage is you need to figure out who are you, what are your attributes, what are your abilities which you think are really good in, you are very good into it. What are the hard skills that you know? Look into your soft skills. Some of you may be very good in talking, some of you may be very good in convincing, some of you may be very good, very creative people. Figure out what you are good at it. Can you be a good communicator? Can you be a good negotiator? You're a good decision maker. You're prompt into something. Just figure out. I know it's not easy. It takes a lot of time to figure out this for yourself, but would like you guys to think through and spend time over it. So if you don't have any questions, can we move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone, any questions? No? So I request you again to fill it during the weekend, spend time for yourself and, complete these workouts. You have any question, Banali?
Yes, ma'am. Whom do I know? This is the social networking or this convention?
1 second. Would you say? I didn't. These are basically, suppose, people in your network. Think of people, not your immediate colleagues, people outside. Those who think can help you in your skills, your attributes that you have, who can help you in handling. Say, for example, I am into digital marketing. Okay, so do I know people into the digital marketing services network? If at any point of time, if I need help, can they be associated with me? Can they be part of my company as an advisory board? Do I know somebody like that? So that will also make you understand that how far you know the market, how well you are connected with the people. Or let's say I'm a professor of entrepreneurship. Can I think that, do I know at least 20 professors of entrepreneurship in the market who know me and I know them? So if they are part of my network, I know where to go when I'm looking out for something. I can always go back to them and ask them, okay, I need this help, I need that help. Are they there for me when I need any help or support from? You need to figure out that for yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Anybody else? Any more question on this? So I'm sure you'll be able to fill it for yourself during the weekend. And then the next thing is, there is a test for entrepreneurial potential. Do you have a potential in you to become an entrepreneur? So there's an online test for yourself which you can do it, and there will be a report which will get generated, which will talk about the 5 styles of entrepreneurship. Let me show you. So this is called Get to Test for Entrepreneurial Enterprising Potential. I'll also share the link in the chat box and WhatsApp. So this is, I've shared link in the chat box also, and also WhatsApp group. We want you guys to do this test, spend time. It is a 10-minute quiz with around 54 questions, only yes or no type answers are there. Do that test for yourself and read your report that comes out of this test. This will help you to understand what is your potential. There are like 5 domains which has been mentioned, where you are high and where you are low. You'll be able to understand for yourself. This is a very, very popular test and very scientifically tested. So the accuracy of the results are pretty high. So would like you guys to spend time on the weekend doing these couple of things. First, completing the Find Your Flow activity assignment. Second, work on the Take Stock of Your Means assignment. Third, finish this Get It Potential test now, or you can do it over the weekend as per your convenience. These are the 3 things. And fourthly, I want all of you to think about a business idea on which you gonna start working now. We'll talk about how can you generate more ideas and those things in the next session, but would like you to think about, okay, this is the idea I would like to work on. But I would like to hear from each one of you the rationale why you have chosen this particular idea. I mean, why not something else? Why the one that you have chosen today? You know, would like you all to spend that time over the weekend and do those things. Any questions?
Ma'am, will you be talking about team building also?
We'll be talking about team building in the subsequent sessions. We are following a step-by-step process. So
Okay.
first, we'll be finishing in the next week, idea generation, evaluating an opportunity and design thinking. Then we'll come to the business model, team building, financing, how to raise funds, intellectual property rights, how to make your balance sheets and P&L accounts, those small things. How to do marketing for your ventures, including taking care of your social media and e-commerce. We'll talk about everything, but step by step. Right? So please start thinking and concentrating on your idea. Do these things on weekend, and so that in the next class when we are talking, you have a lot of questions to discuss. And would love to hear from each one of you so that it becomes more interactive and you don't have any doubts at the back of your mind. All right? So that's all for today. Request you to do the quiz and feedback for the session because that's kind of a mandatory requirement from the government. So we had to follow those protocols. So please fill up the quiz as well as feedback for the day. Radhika, are you around? Have you shared the feedback quiz link with the participants? I think yes, it's there. You can see on your Microsoft Teams only, there is this. When you go to the assignments, you can see. In the general only, you can see the view assignment, there is a quiz which you can answer. So please complete the quiz and feedback for the day. And then now we have, please follow the schedule which has been given. Now we have a next class on 8th of March.
Okay, ma'am.
So we have to fill the assignment, do the assignment, see assignment and do that. Or you have sent this test, we have to do that.
Quiz is based on the today's session. So that is online, only 10 questions. You just have to take the answer, which you can do it right now. I will also share the link on the group, on the WhatsApp group.
Share the link, get to test that we have to do one.
That you have to do one. The two.
Yeah, and second we have to do the assignment.
2 assignments for yourself. If you'll not do it, you'll not be able to enjoy the next coming things. So all the 2 assignments as well as this get to test for yourself. These 3 things you have to do over the weekend. But right now, do the quiz for the today's session.
Yeah, the quiz you have sent. Yeah, okay. Get to test is the quiz we have to do.
No. Get to test is an entrepreneurial style, understanding your entrepreneurial style. There will be a report which get generated. So that's a kind of a psychometric test for you.
Okay, so quizzes in the
assignments. Quizzes in the Microsoft Teams, when you go to assignment, you can see there.
Okay, fine.
But I'll ask somebody to send it on the WhatsApp group.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, is there something else after the quiz? Or else we can leave the.
Ma'am, if you're done with the quiz, you can leave.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So see you all on 8th. Please fill the feedback also, which they'll share on the group.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the session.
Thank you.
आपको क्विज दोगे मम्मी नेहा आंटी पूछ रही है कि आपको वो क्विज नेहा आंटी वो क्विज देंगी क्या हाँ वो रही है मम्मी मम्मी ने लिंक भेजी है उसको बस क्लिक करना है हेलो 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 अच्छा मैंने ये कॉल से वीडियो कॉल में ऐड कर दी
मम्मी को आंटी को टेस्ट देना फोन बंद कर
All right, guys, you can fill the same, and we'll see you on Monday. Good night.